I made a decision that changed my life forever. I dropped everything that I was doing and went all in to start creating content and build my personal brand on Instagram. I said I was either going to make this work or die trying. And believe me, I did everything I could to make sure I didn't die trying. And one of those things I did was creating my first ever Instagram post. In between running a business and managing other responsibilities, constantly posting on Instagram page over and over again, over the years has been nothing short of an uphill battle. But I was determined to make this whole thing work, to reach the top, to get the followers. And after years, months of work and consistent posting from both me and my team, I'm proud to say that eventually I've been able to build a community of over 100,000 people, fans, 100,000 real people, no bots, no fakes, no nothing. So today I'm going to be sharing the strategies, the struggles and lessons I've learned on the road to 100,000 followers. Okay, so let's start with what even led me in the first place to start an Instagram page. So you see, in 2017, while I was doing computer science in school, I decided that computer science was not ready for me, all right? And then I didn't know what else to do. Then I decided to pick up graphic design. I had learned graphic design years before, but I wasn't really good at it like that, but I know I loved it. So I said, okay, computer science is not working, let me start learning graphic design. And me learning graphic design like that, I needed people to critique my work, at least somebody, right, to help me take a look at, okay, are you really doing the right thing? Is this good? Are your skills getting better? And things like that. And because I didn't have people around me that could help me critique my work, I decided to go on Instagram to find the people to critique my work. It's a very, very crazy story. So I turned Instagram to that public journal for me to receive constructive feedback from people. And luckily for me as well, 2017, pretty much Instagram was still favorable, honestly. The algorithm was not as harsh as it is right now. So it was easy for me to immediately start posting, not overthink anything, not even overthink quality, things like that, all right? And this was back in 2017. I remember the very first content I posted, I think it's a flower illustration post or something. And the first time I hit that publish button, I felt good, but for the majority part of the whole thing, I was so nervous. I was also nervous, like, man, will people really like my work? What if I get judged? What if people will be like, your work is not really good? Or what if, I think the biggest one was because the illustration I posted, the flower, was actually from somebody else. What I did was, when I was learning graphic design, I decided to just model after like what the top guys were doing. I think this guy's name is Alex Adams or something like that. I can't remember his name. So he had like this fancy flower design, and I was like, oh my god, like I can use this to start learning, right? So I literally just did the exact same thing I did. Then in the caption of the post, and I gave him a shout out that, okay, look, I got inspired by this. So I was nervous that, okay, what if people would say you are you are stealing someone else's work? What did they call you out? But still, I was still very eager to still hear people's opinions. But also, one of the things that really stopped me, that made me not comfortable as well, was I was very, very cautious of what would my friends say, like, that I start posting content on Instagram. Because I was actually the one in the clique that was doing that at the time. Like, majority of the people around me then, you just post pictures, all right, on Instagram, like you went to do this one out there. It's like for personal reasons, basically. And then me now deciding to do something that is not in line with personal steps, that is more in line with something around career, business. And I was the first person doing that in the group. Nah. I was just like, okay, what would they say? Would they judge me? And I actually remember one of my friends had something bad to say about it though. Because I was staying with him at that point. At one point, I was learning graphic design. I was living with him, and then him is more of this style of person that likes to take his time, make sure he spends more time on things before he puts it out there or whatever. But for me, I'm more of as I'm working on it right now, I want to like put it out there. Like, I'm not really like a very, very patient person. When I posted that content, it was like, Bami, you should still spend more time on this design. Like, why is your blood hot? I swear that was what he said. And that made me feel a little bit embarrassed, honestly. In as much as I know that he was actually saying it from a point of, okay, we can't just be putting random work out there. Like anything you put out there needs to be very, very polished, needs to be very perfect or whatever. But I still felt like, I wish like you just like commended me for even taking this bold step in the first place, right? That was a little bit embarrassing from my end. And I'm very happy that I didn't take down that content though. And I think that's also because I was very, very clear about what my goal was for starting an Instagram page at the very beginning, which is also one of the things that you need to know. Like, you don't just start building your brand or creating content for content creation's sake. Okay, you need to have a goal. There needs to be a reason why you are doing it. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy or anything too big, but there needs to be something, a reason as to why you want to be making content. It makes you remember, even when judgment start coming, all right? When you feel people are looking at you like, okay, are you sure you are not going to feel like this whole thing? That big reason that you have, or that small reason, or whatever reason that you have, will help you stay focused and continue going. And I think that's like one of the biggest things that really helped me not take down that post, because if I had taken out that post that day, I don't think I would have actually made another piece of content after that time, honestly. Anyway, after that first post I made, then my journey officially started on Instagram. My journey is actually broken down in two phases, and there are different challenges at both phases, really. The first journey is me starting out. Like, after making that first post, it was already official. Like, okay, look, like you're already starting this whole thing. And then at that very beginning of starting out like that, my biggest challenge, like I said, was fear of judgment. And that fear of judgment came from the fact that I was still new at this whole thing. Graphic design, creating content. I was still very new at the whole thing. And I was wondering if I was even good enough to be posting anything, graphic design related. Especially for the fact that there were like top guys that were much more better than me. They had better skills than me. They were creating better content than me. So I was always questioning myself that, okay, look, like, are you really good enough? What do people see you as somebody that has crappy work? That's like the first challenge I had really at the very beginning. And the second challenge was after I walked my way out of the whole fear of judgment thing, then I said, okay, look, like Instagram, I'm taking you seriously as a tool now to make money and grow my brand. Then I faced another challenge. And that challenge is what you most likely will be facing right now, especially if you've been creating content for some time. And it's that there is always a constant change on Instagram. Every social media platform even, let's be honest. Because like when I started, all right, in 2017, things were a little bit easier. But over the years, like let's say 2019, 2018, more people started to come in, algorithms started to change, people like were consuming new content style, videos started to come into the whole thing as well. And the whole constant change, keeping up with the whole thing, like it's just so overwhelming. I honestly couldn't keep up. You see strategies that will work a month ago, like literally 4 weeks ago. Same strategy right now will not work anymore. It's just so insane. And that's a big challenge, and it's still a very, very big challenge right now. Which is also one of the reasons why, like, I tell people that, look, like, when you're creating content, building your brand on social media, if you're not this type of person that has like this, I will adapt or die mindset, you are going to struggle a whole lot. I can't begin to tell you how many people I actually started this whole journey with in 2017, because I had my own clique of graphic designers that were all starting from scratch that period. I can't find them right now. A lot of them usually went back to, they started working 9-to-5 jobs, at agencies and things like that, simply because they couldn't keep up. And I don't blame them, all right? It's not easy. You need to really be a crazy person to keep up, really, all right? And that's why, like, you need to be very, very passionate again about what you're doing, and also have a reason behind it, behind this whole content creation, brand building thing. It helps you keep up. And honestly, this is also one of the reasons why my agency matters as well. Because there are a lot of business owners right now that your time is being spent running your business, creating amazing work for your clients, working with your clients, serving them and all, that you just don't even have the time to want to keep up. Even if you want to keep up, there's just no time. And that's why I also built like my agency as well. We have an amazing team of people that will just help you handle all your content creation. You don't need to think about it. So this way, as the changes that are happening on the platform, we are paying attention to it. We are creating content for you. But most importantly, like, making sure that we are creating content that, in as much as changes are happening, your voice is still heard in the whole thing. And for me, one of the biggest reasons why I kept going, despite the constant changes on Instagram, on social media, is simply because building my brand on Instagram, creating content, it was my ticket to a global audience. I don't know if you know, but I'm from Nigeria. Okay, the minimum wage right here is $50 or less than $50. And if I didn't build my brand on social media or on Instagram, create content, there was just no way I would expose myself more to people all around the world that could pay me more for my services. So it was a do or die affair for me, really. So it's like I needed to make Instagram work because I'm not from the US or the UK or Europe that I would say, okay, I don't want to, I can just wake up tomorrow and say, let me go and look for a job. You know, maybe you mix like 2-3 different jobs and then I get like $3,000 or $5,000 per month kind of like thing. That's not the case for me. Nigeria is not just a place where you see a good paying job, talk less of now getting 2 or 3 that you can actually mix up together. So this reason is big enough. Like it really helped me weather the storms, all right? It helped me keep up with the whole thing. It really helped me put in more work. It helped me just, okay, look, like it's hard, definitely, but you just have to keep going because the situation that you're in, if you're not even doing this whole thing, it's unpleasant. It's literally death. There's just no other way about it. And having this mind frame kept me going. And I remember, I think like a year after consistently posting content on Instagram, when everything changed for me was when I got my first $1,000 client for brand identity design. God, I'll never forget that day. I told them, okay, I'll design your logo, do your business card, it's a clothing brand. They're called Expired Lifestyle, as the name of the brand. I'll design your label for you, do your logo and all. And then the charge is $1,000. These guys didn't even flinch. They're from Los Angeles, all right? LA, US. They didn't flinch. I was like, wow, I'm getting paid $1,000 for my work. This is insane. Like very crazy stuff. And that's when I really started to realize that, okay, look, I think I'm reaping the fruit of my labor little by little. Things are really starting to pay off now really well. That first $1,000, it changed everything for me, because after that $1,000 gig, I was exposed to, okay, there are people that can actually pay me 4 figures at least for what I do. Amazing. Then from there, it's like, when you get to a stage, like let's say, for example, you're here and then you get to this stage. Getting to this stage now makes this particular state that you just got to right now to be like your barest minimum. And then from there, I was now climbing to the point where I was getting paid like thousands of dollars for variety design, even charging just strategy work as well, like, for $4,500 for like a 3 weeks project kind of like thing. So insane. And it's not been easy, definitely, but it's been a life-changing experience. Imagine if I didn't start creating content on Instagram, man. All of this would just not be possible. Now, I'm still here at this very moment from 2017 to 2024. That's like 7 years into this whole thing. And I'm still creating content. Like I'm still very, 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 very much in my creative energy, like crazy. It just feels like I'm not even tired of the whole thing. And honestly, getting to this point after 7 years of not even being tired and being in my creative flow is not just because of my passion alone, honestly, or it's not just because of my why as well. The why is not what is sustaining me right now. It's a team. I got to that point where I couldn't do this whole thing alone. It just was getting too overwhelming for me. And then that's when I realized, okay, look, I need to start building a team if I want to continue to grow, continue keeping up with the ever-changing social media space, or even also expanding beyond Instagram. I needed a team to make it happen. So build a team. Then building a team as well already has helped me stay so much consistent right now. Sometimes like on Instagram, I post like up to 3 times a day. Okay? And then some people will look at me and be like, okay, it looks like you are, Pami, how are you keeping up with this whole thing? Like, how do you do it? Just me, man. There's literally a crowd of people behind me. And if you're at that stage right now where you can actually afford it, you don't have to do all of these things alone. In fact, like doing it alone is costing you time, it's costing you money. Build a team. We have a team literally. I can work with you if you want. There should be a link down this video somewhere. You can book a call and we can have a conversation about it, how we can actually help you. My team is comprised of, we have the script writer that just writes script. We have the videographer, we have the video editor, then we have project manager, and also it's like every stage of the content creation process, there's experts at each stage. So it makes everything easier. And this is how come I've been able to stay consistent, posting 3 times a day on Instagram. Days that you don't see me post are just days that maybe I feel like, okay, I'm not really in the mood to make content or, to get content out. I'm never short of content, never. And it's just because of the team I've built as well. So consider getting a team if you are able to. If you have the money, if you don't have the time, if you also don't have the knowledge as well of really growing a brand on social media, you need a team. It makes everything much more easier for you. Now, getting the old team talk out of the way, there's one big lesson as well I've actually learned on this journey, and that is that I used to think that followers don't matter. If you see Bami of 1 year ago, or let me say 1-2 years ago, you see me creating contents like, oh, your follow counts don't matter, blah, blah, and it's total bullshit. Don't listen to me, please. That's just the wrong thing to say. And I realized that was the wrong thing to say after I started getting some clients. And then when I asked them, why are you working with me? Hey, you have a lot of followers, so there's social proof. Or some of them will say people that they look up to are following me. I'm like, okay, interesting. You look up to like maybe like a celebrity or whatever, and then they are literally following my page as well, and then that's why you want to work. So that simply means that the numbers do matter. So that's why like right now you wouldn't see me say stuff like thousands of followers don't equate to thousands of dollars in your bank account. Honestly, if you know how to use it well, I promise you, if you have 10,000 followers, people will work with you much more faster than somebody that has 500 followers, just what it is. All right. So don't be in that same mind frame that I was like 1-2 years ago, where I was thinking about, yeah, the old follower account, and I also realized the reason why I was saying that as well is simply because honestly, I think I just got too comfortable as well, like to really do what it takes to keep on growing my audience, really. Okay. So it's just like cock and bull story to tell myself not to put in the work, to really think creatively, to get people's attention, to watch my video, to follow my page. And when I came out of this delusion, that is when I really started to see that, okay, look, like growing my audience matters. And coupled with the fact that there are some people right now, some people, they work with me simply because, some of my clients, all right, they will tell me that, let me even tell you a story of this lady I had a call with last. She's my client. And then she reached out to me because at the beginning of this year, 2024, she literally was hitting $15,000 months. But after some time, that dried up. She lost half of that revenue. Like she was now making around 5K, 7K per month. She's currently doing that right now. And that's why she was reaching out again to me. And when we're having a conversation, I asked her, how many followers have you been growing, per week now? And she was like, it's been stagnant. I was like, yeah, that's your problem right there. Because you need to understand that there's something called audience fatigue. Social media in the first place, they don't show your content to 100% of your audience. That's a fact. Instagram, for example. If Instagram is showing your content to like 10% or 20% of your audience, and then you have about, let's say, 2,000 followers, that simply means the same set of 200 people that see your content today are still the ones I'll be seeing it tomorrow, next week, or whatever. So that means if you're not even bringing new people into your community, your audience list, the guys that have been seeing your content over and over again, they hit a fatigue point where they're just like, okay, I think I've already gotten used to you now. And then they will friend zone you and then they'll never become clients. There are literally some people that I follow. I've been following them for like 2 years, 3 years. I love their content, but I know that I can never buy from them anymore. I can't buy from them because for some reason I already friend zoned them. So this is also the reason why you need to keep on growing your audience. You need to get out of that mind frame of, oh, more followers don't equate more money. It does actually, okay? It really does. So keep growing, okay? Do everything you can, do everything in your power, in your will, to level up your content game, to pay attention to the kind of content that people are consuming. Pay attention to people's hooks. Pay attention to those content that are consuming yourself on social media that make you glued for like 15 seconds or all the way through the video. Don't just be consuming this content alone. Be paying attention to how they are structured. What is making this content work? Why am I here? Like, why did I watch this video to the end? Why did I consume it to the end? Then you now ask yourself, like, how can I bring this same strategy, right? How can I bring that into my own content? That's how you get to be in that constant flow of, okay, look, you're growing your audience, you're growing your audience, you're growing your audience, because you have to. Okay, yeah, so to wrap this up, I want to still leave you with some words of wisdom. Okay, that'll really change the game for you for content as well. And the first one is be intentional. Be intentional and put in the effort into creating content. Don't be relying on things like ChatGPT. All right, don't be relying on posts like how to create 30 pieces of content in 30 minutes. You need to put in the effort, you need to put in the work to create content. No surface level thing right here. Take time, create high quality content for people. Like, create content that people will sit down and be like, oh my God, like, wow, you actually spent your time to create this thing for me. So don't be doing this whole AI nonsense thing or this whole use ChatGPT to come up with 100 pieces of content in 50 days kind of like thing. It's really killing you. Put in time, put in the effort, really. Create content, create quality content. Put in the effort. It's important. All right. So that said, I hope this video, you were able to take 1 or 2 things at least from it, okay? Keep going, keep posting, create content. Everything I've actually mentioned so far in this video, put it to use, all right? Whatever part applies most to you right now, pick it and use that to shape how you create your content moving forward, how you show up in your brand, your personal brand moving forward. And if you're at the very beginning of your journey and you are thinking about starting your own content journey on Instagram or any social media platform, be it for your business or for passion or to build your brand, here's my advice for you as well. Like, again, don't overthink it, okay? You don't need to have everything figured out. I don't, and you probably won't either. So be yourself, love what you do, and trust the process. It might take some time, yes, but eventually your audience will find you. And if you feel like starting your content journey right now is too confusing or scary to handle on your own, I've linked a free resource in the description of this video and I make things easier for you. It's a free content strategy game. Okay, so make sure you download that. And if after you consume that resource, you feel like you need expert help, there's also a link in the description of this video to book a call with me, and then we'll have a conversation and see how we can help you with my team to grow your brand and kill your content game, level up your content game in 2025. I'll see you in the next video.